Murli sir, please check the message, sir.
Okay. Yeah, good morning, sir. That's a prayer, morning prayer, and let us start with the proceeding, sir. I request Raju sir to take over, sir.
Good morning, all sir. Welcome to All India Access Bank Employees Federation. Hello. Welcome, all sir. So today we are going to conduct our All India National webinar on All India platform. So as of now, you know everybody on the screen are been over there. So I request first President sir to deliver his speech in regarding to AIExBEF.
Thank you, Rajuji. Respected Sri Devasis Basuji, General Secretary BEFI, Sri Anil Chaudhary Zonal Organizing Secretary NOW, our General Secretary Sri Krishnamurthy and Raju, our Vice Chairman Sri Kumar, our DGSOD Sri Suresh Kumar, Legal Team Sri Vinod Ranaji, DGSIT Sri M. Murli Krishnanji, our Treasurer Sri Ravi Kumar Narayanji, Sri Assistant Treasurer Chandra Rajaji, AGS League, Tara, AGSIT Sri Rahul Srivastavaji, AGS Admin Hiralalji, our CEC members and distinguished members. Our journey began on 28 January 1979 with very few members, and after a stagnation in between, when recruitment was almost stopped in the sector, we carried it forward with momentum since 2013. On this distinguished day, I would like to thank Sri Ashok Arora ji, Sri Surjit Singh ji, and other founder members who visioned our federation for the welfare of our ex-servicemen in banking sector. It was demand of time that we revived it in 2013 and growing steadily since then. Although we are less in number, but our federation is very vibrant and we have raised various issues of ex-servicemen in public sector banks at different forums. As we are aware that we are all ranks, all banks, we constitute of guards to officers. A soldier born is always a soldier, and all our members who are now veterans are still soldiers by heart and act. A young boy without mustaches and beard, when joins the defense services, is raw. And during the course of his training and course of his journey, he gets matured and forms a strong attitude. That is why a veteran banker is always distinguished differently by his act of punctuality and action. But sometimes management and others companies takes it negatively. Actually, they consider us as a fresh employee who has just joined bank but forgot that he has already done a service of about 20 years. So all must understand that by virtue of his profession of service to the nation, an ex-serviceman has firm attitude with which can be utilized positively and with responsibility also. During the course of our journey, we have raised various issues pertaining to uniform pay fixation, DA pension, re-employment of ex-servicemen, transfer policy, recruitment of armed guards, weightage of defense services, pre-2006 national pay fixation, etc., etc., which our office bearer will explain in detail. Our previous General Secretary Sri Venkatesh and previous President Sri Pannuji had done extremely hard work during their tenure, and we are thankful to them. We expect and wish our distinguished guests to understand our issues, which are peculiar in nature, because our issues are related to various government circulars, which is different from other candidates of the bench, and request them to raise the issues at the platform of UFBU and IBA, such that it can be resolved, along with they can raise the issue with management and IBA. With these opening remarks, I declare this national webinar of All India Ex-Servicemen Bank Employee Federation open. Jai Hind. Rajuji, take over the command of this meeting. In absence, GS, Krishnamurthy ji or Murli ji, take over the command of this meeting.
Krishnamurthy sir, please. Sir, we welcome Anil Chaudhary sir.
Anil Chaudhary ji missed the opening speech.
Anil Chaudhary sir, representative of UFBU from NOBW.
I have to repeat my speech.
No, sir, you will be given the time, sir. So that was completed.
Then carry forward, आप आगे बढ़िए.
GS admin Krishnamurthy sir, please.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone. I welcome on behalf of AIExBEF and on behalf of Mr. President to everyone and the dignitaries also. As our President has opened the meeting, everyone knows it, and we are struggling in all the banking industries, including in financial sectors also, like LIC and insurance industry also. We would like to introduce ourselves by various people, and we would like to emphasize our difficulties faced by ex-servicemen in finance sector and in the banking sector. So we tried and we are trying to correspond with the banking. So again, still we are not able to complete our all the MNC, and we will not able to succeed in all the ways, whatever the requirements are there or the faced by the servicemen. So mainly few points are there which will be explained by our during our course of meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and welcome everyone again.
Krishnamurthy sir, not audible.
Tell me, Raju sir.
Over, sir.
Yeah,
Come.
control over there, Raju sir, please.
Yours is completed, sir.
Yes,
Yeah, sir, is completed.
Command.
Okay, thank
can
you
you
very
repeat
much.
it, sir?
Thank you very much, Krishnamurthy sir. Now I request Mr. R.K. Singh sir to speak regarding transfer issues. R.K. Singh sir.
In the meanwhile, all are requested to mute their mics because ये सबको अपना mic mute करने के लिए request है आर के सर.
Thank you, sir. Honorable President Sri Prakash Bhai Thakrar,
అందుకే తగ్గించాను
AIExBEF,
ఇస్తాను స్పీకర్ వద్దు నాకు.
respected Sri Devasis
आर के को म्यूट क्यों कर दिया? आर के अनम्यूट करो.
Honorable President Sri Prakash Bhai Thakrar, AIExBEF, respected Sri
अनम्यूट कर ले.
Devasis Basu ji, General Secretary BEFI, Sri Anil Chaudhary ji, Organizer Secretary NOBO, our General Secretary Sri Krishnamurthy ji, and our CEC members, along with all the distinguished members of AIExBEF as well as guests. I would like to represent two issues. The first one is transfer policy, and the other one is notional pay fixation dispute of T2006 employees. Let me explain first the transfer policy, how it is difficult for us to survive in this service, and how we need a distinguished different policy for ourselves. The bank transfer policy is contrary to the resettlement policy of Government of India, Ministry of Defense for ex-servicemen. We, All India Ex-Servicemen Bank Employees Federation, I request to keep the mic mute, please.
राजू भाई
Please
अपना
keep the mic mute as it is.
All others are in mute, sir. Not an issue.
आप नहीं है आपका
As
डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर.
we as we All India Ex-Servicemen Bank Employees Federation, a purely ex-serviceman organization, and our members are under ex-serviceman category in SBI and other PSU banks. This category of quota of reservation is in accordance with the Government of India policy for resettlement of retired soldiers for the selfless service dedicated to the nation. The resettlement and welfare of the ex-serviceman is of utmost importance and has a direct impact on the serving personnel in view of their dedicated service to the nation and who have served in the most difficult and inhospitable environment and conditions from Siachen to Indira Point and from Tawang to Bombay High. After serving our motherland for more than 15 to 20 years in defense services with their great dedication, soldiers are forced to retire at the young age of 35 to 45 to keep the armed forces young. In order to keep the spirit of the fighting battle capabilities high, under Government of India resettlement policy, so in accordance to the resettlement policy, ex-servicemen are resettled at their place of choice or at their hometown all over India. After discharge from the service, ex-servicemen have left with an added responsibility of grown-up school or college-going children, and have a higher responsibility of social responsibility of looking after their old age parents who needs medical attention. They also have a great responsibility and desire to build a home settle down. But when they join banks, they are again posted far away, up to the 1,000 kilometer away in the bank. which unsettles us again. Even in regular postings, problem of distance still persists, and it cannot be compared to the young fresh guy who is joining the bank due to sense of different social and family liabilities. So we propose that while joining the bank itself, an ex-serviceman be posted within the range of 50 kilometers in the cities and up to 20 kilometers in small cities. Uh, I request the honorable guest to keep in it mind because it is of most important aspect of our life. Even in promotional cases, some criteria be followed, same criteria be followed, and which will ease our life as well as the career progression because most of us don't take promotion due to distance problem. And if the bank allows us to take the promotion within the zone, then most of us will have the promotion also, which will motivate them for promotion. This is my first point. The second point, I will go for notional pay fixation of retired soldiers who before 2006. In defense forces, personnel who retired on or before 31st December 2005 but joined bank on or after 1st January 2006 are paid less salary than the personnel who retired on or after 2006 and joined bank in succeeding years depending upon re-employment
आर के आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है.
नहीं आ रही सर. Okay. Devasis Basu.
I had got disconnected. So let me complete the point. Shall I continue?
Sir, please go ahead, sir, please.
Yeah. Uh, so I was speaking about national pay fixation. The defense forces, जो employee, I will explain in Hindi also. जो employee 2006 से पहले यानी 31 दिसंबर 2005 में रिटायर हो गए और उन्होंने बैंक को ज्वाइन किया आफ्टर 2006 यानी 1 जनवरी 2006 उनकी सैलरी जो है वो कम है जो उनके अपेक्षा जो 2006 में रिटायर हुए और उसके बाद सक्सेडिंग ईयर्स में जिन्होंने एम्प्लॉयमेंट पाया. So it is a discrimination in pay, and in other words, it can easily be understood that employee who is senior in defense services as well as in banking services gets less salary than his junior counterparts in the same category and same cadre, which is contrary to the service norms in any department. We have sufferers of more than 550 candidates all over the PSBs, and we have pursued the case with the higher authorities also in this regard. And same is pending with the Ministry of Finance also. Government of India, DOPT letter number 3 oblique 19 oblique 2009 establishment pay 2 dated 15th April 2010 and SBI Corporate Office letter number CDO P and HRD IR 74 oblique 2013-14 dated 18th February 2014 clearly specify for the notional pay fixation in this regard. SBI has fixed based on the notional pay fixation selectively in some of the regions of Gwalior, Bhopal, and in parts of Tamil Nadu for few employees, but large section of our servicemen have been left out. We have this confirmation through RTI also, which is discriminatory in nature. In other PSUs banks, pay fixation has not been done at all. We have filed a dispute at Chief Level Commissioner Delhi, which is transferred to Lucknow, but we request our guests to raise the issue of notional pay fixation at IBA level and UFB level such that a solution can be found out. And we have a large sufferer of more than 550 people uh, in this regard. I will request the attention of Sri Devasis Basuji and Honorable Sri Anil Chaudhary ji to support us on these two issues exclusively and pursue the cases with the higher forum such that we can find the solution for our members. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, R.K. Singh sir, for narrating the issue very clearly. So now I request Mr. Ravi Kumar sir to deliver his speech regarding on transfer policy.
Yes, sir.
बिफोर स्टार्टिंग रवि कुमार सर, बीच में जो राजू भाई ये जगदीश करके है, जो दूसरे हैं, उनको आपका ध्यान नहीं है, म्यूट कीजिए इन सबको. रवि कुमार सर प्लीज.
Well, sir, there was a very neat explanation from R.K. Singh sir regarding the transfer and promotion policies. I am Narayan Ravi Kumar, Treasurer of AIExBEF. Good morning to all respected distinguished guests, Devashish Basu sir, BEFI General Secretary, and another distinguished guest, Anil Chaudhary sir, NOBW, and all other UVFU dignitaries who is not present here, who is in offline. And also to all AIExBEF dignitaries and to all my respected member of All India Ex-Servicemen Bank Employee Federation. I am going to address a small subject on promotion transfer within the region of resettlement in public sector banks. I would like to mention and emphasize one of the most important point is that the term resettlement is not only in terms of monetary benefits, but also to include better personal life of ex-servicemen. As everyone knows, the ex-serviceman discharged from defense forces in the mid-age of 40 to 50 years. Let us say an ex-serviceman joins in bank at the age of 41 has no way to become an officer till the age of 46. After completing 5 years with CAIB and or after 6 years without CAIB, he is eligible to apply for an officer in merit channel, and there is so-called seniority channel. The ex-serviceman has to complete 8 years. So this means this, sir, am I audible, sir?
Well, sir,
This means he is almost completing nearing 50 years. These policies are one of the explained by me is of SBI Bank, and I hope all other banks also follow the same criteria. Normally, an ex-serviceman joining in bank is only 10% as per the prevailing criteria ex-serviceman quota. This includes clerical and armed guards, out of which hardly 1 to 2% opt for officer rank because of the fear of transfer. Those 1 to 2% are becoming officer in nearing 50 years of age. They usually treated at par with the officer of youngster in terms of transfer. They get posted to far-flung areas more than 200 to 300 kilometers that includes rural areas away from his region of resettlement. Ex-servicemen at the age of 50 or more having more liabilities and responsibilities towards their old age parents who require medical intervention often and grown-up children who are at the verge of college studies. The transfer of an ex-serviceman officer become more troublesome and create unstable situation for him and his family too. This created fear and reluctance on every ex-serviceman to go for officer cadre. They wish to remain as clerk rather than to go for elevation to an officer, though they are well educated like MBS, CA, IIBs and other postgraduates. As such, all public sector banks do not have any policy for ex-serviceman officer in terms of transfer, which will be beneficial for both organization as well as ex-servicemen. We have taken up many times this issue to every bank management to reconsider for transfer and posting within the region of resettlement so as the ex-serviceman feels that he is resettled at the age of 50 or more. Here, I request UFPU leaders to intervene and project this issue, and we believe that which can definitely create a positive impact and can enhance the ex-serviceman career progression along with his better resettlement. We also wish more and more number of ex-servicemen in the officer cadre to shoulder more responsibilities in the banking industry. Thanking you. AIExBEF Jindabad.
Thank you, Ravi Kumar sir, for your very motivational speech. Thank you very much. You had brought in good points to be noted. So now I request R.K. Singh sir to speak regarding pre-2006 issue, which is name itself says that it is pre-2006, which means that it is a very long-lasting problem. Request you to speak in this regard, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have already completed the subject together.
देखिए आरके
Okay,
सिंह बोले इससे पहले राजू भाई और मुरली सर का ध्यान देना चाहता हूँ. Someone is presenting screen sharing. Just remove him, either remove him or stop it. Screen sharing में आगे पीछे सब कर रहे हैं, उसको निकालें.
Raju sir, topic is I have already covered.
Okay.
Control filter.
Sir, please continue. Raju sir, please continue.
Right, sir. Thank you very much. As the background was.
Raju bhai, can you hear me? Raju bhai, Murli sir, can you hear me?
Sir, more and more of the people, please everybody, I request everybody to mute the mic. I request everyone to
देखो यार, कंट्रोल सेंटर क्या कर रहा है?
Sir, okay, let us proceed to the next point. I request sir to speak regarding DA issue, sir. Sundarajan, sir.
Thank you, Raju sir, and thank you, sir. Good morning to all delegates, President AIExBEF and all members. I thank our GS OD Shri Raju sir for giving me an opportunity to present the DA case. Sir, to say the ex-servicemen joined the armed forces at the very young age of, to say, 18 to 20, and they serve the motherland for in difficult terrains and difficult conditions. To say we live somewhere in inhuman conditions, like say minus 25 centigrade and all, we live, and we live in very hot temperatures around 45 to say in Thar deserts. And to say that we have been serving the motherland with so big things for quite long time, and we served the country for 15 to 20 years. To keep the fighting force young and fighting fit, the ex-servicemen are required to leave the service at the age of 30 to 40 years. We leave the service at the age of 30 to 40 years. The ex-servicemen are joining the band with the criteria that they will get a good opportunity
Sir, please stop the vehicle and start speaking, sir.
Sir, pay protection, pay fitment. In pay fitment, only certain elements are taken while considering the pay fitment is given. Only certain elements or the components are taken what the joins the bank. In pay protection, all the components are taken where he has to forgo the DA. Hence, our case of DA has to be given to all the ex-servicemen who are joining the bank. For this we have, there's a circular issued by PCDA under the guidance of Government of India. The PCDA keeps issuing circulars, and the latest circular which has been issued is circular number 200 dated 12/4/2018. and followed by a PCDA letter 80 oblique tech oblique 263 oblique 25 dated 11th November 2020. I'm just highlighting the points in the circular or in the letter. The letter or the circular states that any re-employer issues a certificate for saying for refitment of DA, then the CPCC has to obey the thing and release the DA for the ex-servicemen who are all employed. But in certain cases, even after the PCDS, as per the PCDS circular letter being issued by the re-employer, the CPCCs in certain places are not following the same and that is not issuing the DA or not releasing the DA of the ex-servicemen, which is creating a lot of hardship for the ex-servicemen. Not only that, the CPCCs are following a discrimination among ex-servicemen by not stopping the DA of everyone. It's on selective basis they are stopping the DA, and which is against the government guidelines. In this regard, we request all the delegates who are present to look after things and instruct the TCDA, sorry, the CPCC to restore the DA of all ex-servicemen who has been stopped and with immediate effect, and follow the government norms which are being issued by PCDA in the true spirit, so that all the ex-servicemen are happy and having a happy and re-employment in the banks. That is what we would like to say, and we request all the delegates should take our point forward, sir, to the top level. Thank you, and thank you, Raju, sir.
Thank you, Sundarajan sir, for putting up your valuable point. And I would like to bring to the knowledge of the members that pay fixation and pay protection are totally, entirely different. When pay protection is done, it is done only in cases where the person is re-employed by absorption or deputation to the same cadre or an higher cadre. But when a person opts for the lower cadre than which he has been done, shall be counted as pay fixation but not pay protection. Once pay fixation is done, so the guidelines have been already issued and the pay must not be more than a general manager's pay as per the IBA circular itself. But still there was many doubts and clarifications being circulated in this thing of old circulars and all these things. I request these UAPU leaders to take this point and issue a clear guidelines again from IBA. And thank you, sir. Now I request our DGS legal Vinod Rana sir to explain regarding MSP issue. Vinod Rana sir, please take over.
विनोद राणा जी शुरू करें, इससे पहले राजू सर आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है कि पीपीटी शुरू करवाइए स्क्रीन शेयरिंग में मुरली कृष्णन सर से. विनोद राणा सर, प्लीज कैरी ऑन सर.
Right, sir.
Thank you, Raju sir. Honorable President sir, respected dignitaries, and all our CC members, and all the viewers present on various platforms. I am here to discuss the issue of military service pay, a burning issue in our banking industry for the re-employed ex-servicemen category people. Prior to 2011, banks were only considering basic pay, grade pay, GCB, classification pay, and DA on these components. But according to IBA compared in 2005, they were considering all these elements. But after 6th Pay Commission, MSP was also introduced. They were ignoring MSP part. So some ex-servicemen, including myself and Major Navdeep Singh, Honorable Advocate from Chandigarh, projected this issue before DFS and MOD. The matter was resolved, and then Secretary DFS, Meena sir, issued a letter dated 2012. In the year 2012, he issued a circular stating that MSP will be included in pay fixation. So all banks implemented it, but some banks like Bank of Baroda, Corporation Bank, Bank of Baroda, and Dena Bank and UCO Bank, they were not implementing this order in true spirit. So their ex-servicemen anguished with this and projected this matter to DFS to reconsider their plea of discrimination. So IBA formed a committee regarding this, And IBA, after the committee findings were aired by this IBA officials, because there was no ex-serviceman category representative in that IBA committee, so they aired in declaring that MSP will not be a part of pay fixation. So they issued a letter stating that MSP will not be considered for pay fixation. Thereafter, many ex-servicemen anguished it and went to various high court and got a stay on this IBA circular. All India Ex-Servicemen Bank Employee Federation also projected this issue before Raksha Mantri's Committee of Experts minimizing litigations effectively. They deliberated upon this and finded that our representation was just and fair demand. So they directed MOD to consider this demand and again issue clarification regarding this. But thereafter, no clarification was issued by MOD. So matter remains unresolved till now. So I request all the dignitaries present on this platform to issue consult this issue with the IBA and do justice to our ex-servicemen fraternity. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, Vinod Rana sir. Thank you for your valuable clarification given on MSP. And already there many representations have been given on the letterhead of AIExBEF. Still, we again try to forward the same. Thank you, Vinod Rana sir. And now I request Devendra Kumar Umrao sir to speak regarding 10th and 11th bipartite areas.
जय हिंद सभी को। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, महामंत्री जी, आए हुए हमारे साथ ज्वाइन किए हुए विशिष्ट अतिथिगणों एवं ऑल इंडिया एक्स सर्विसमैन बैंक एम्प्लॉय फेडरेशन के सभी सम्मानित सदस्यों को अभिनंदन व वंदन है। सबसे पहले मैं अपना ही परिचय दे देता हूं। देवेंद्र कुमार उमराव, ऑल इंडिया एक्स सर्विसमैन बैंक एम्प्लॉय फेडरेशन उत्तर प्रदेश यूनिट का अध्यक्ष का कार्यवाहन निर्वहन कर रहा हूं। वैसे तो बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री में बहुत सारी समस्याएं हैं, लेकिन स्पेशली खास करके हमारे पूर्व सैनिक बैंक कर्मचारियों की समस्याएं कुछ डिफरेंट है, जिनकी टर्मिनोलॉजी, शब्दावली या वो हमारे कैलकुलेशन को आम बैंकर या मैनेजमेंट कहीं ना कहीं इसको ठीक से समझ नहीं पा रहा है। इस तरह के हमारे पास बहुत सारी समस्याएं आ रही हैं। हम जो हमारे आए हुए सम्मानित अतिथिगण हैं वो इन चीज़ों पे गौर करें। उनमें से एक हमारी समस्या है, भारतीय स्टेट बैंक द्वारा हमारे एक्स सर्विसमैन साथियों का 10वें वेतन समझौता एवं अभी 11वें वेतन समझौता जो कि 1 नवंबर 2017 से इफेक्टिव होना था, लेकिन ये समझौता लंबे समय को खींचते हुए 3 सालों बाद जाके कंप्लीट हुआ। भारतीय स्टेट बैंक ने क्या किया कि हमारे पूर्व सैनिक जो एक्स सर्विसमैन हैं उनका एरियर रोक दिया गया। हमारे सभी साथियों द्वारा व्यक्तिगत तौर पे जो हमारे प्रेजेंटेशन किए गए, जो बैंक के अंदर अपने रिड्रेसल के टूल्स हैं, लेकिन बैंक प्रबंधन द्वारा किसी भी पत्र का ना तो किसी को जवाब दिया जाता है, ना ही कोई रेस्पॉन्स किया जाता है। जो भी पत्राचार होता है वो सारा का सारा कूड़े में डाल दिया जाता है। अब फिर बहुत सारे करेस्पॉन्डेंस करने के बाद भी भारतीय स्टेट बैंक ने एक पत्र जारी किया, HR का है, HRIR RP 2020-21 का लेटर है, डेटेड 22 फरवरी 2021 को, जिसमें कि बैंक द्वारा कहा गया है कि एक्स सर्विस मैन कैटेगरी ने स्टेट बैंक पे पे फिक्सेशन को लेकर के कुछ केस किए हुए हैं, इसके लिए हम इनका केस एरियर रोके हुए हैं। ये उन्होंने कॉमन लेटर इशू किया, बट जब कोई भी व्यक्ति इंडिविजुअल कोई पत्राचार करता है तो दे आर नॉट रिस्पॉन्डिंग। उस पत्र में क्लियर कर लिखा गया है कि जब तक ये केस नहीं वापस करेंगे तो हम इनका एरियर इश्यू नहीं करेंगे, जबकि जो पहले कोई केस हुआ है उस केस का हमारे इस 11वें बाइपार्टाइट सेटलमेंट के एरियर से कोई लेना देना नहीं है, वो अलग मुद्दा है और ये एरियर का अलग मुद्दा है। ये हमारा सेटलमेंट 1 नवंबर 2017 से इफेक्टिव होना था। क्या हम ये जानना चाहेंगे कि अगर ये समझौता 1 नवंबर 2017 को कंप्लीट हो जाता या हो जाता तो हमें क्या ये हमारा एरियर वेतन नहीं देते? तो इन्होंने हमारे नवंबर 2017 से नवंबर 2020 तक का सारा एरियर रोक करके रखे हुए हैं, जबकि ये हमारे साथ दुर्भावपूर्ण व्यवहार एवं नियमों का उल्लंघन है। साथ हम आपको ये भी बताते चलें कि बैंक ने 1 साल पहले एडहाक एरियर दिया था जिसमें उन्होंने कोई रोक टोक नहीं लगाई। जब एडहाक एरियर दिया था तो हमारा ये एरियर क्यों रोका गया है? साथ ही ये एरियर का रोका जाना हम मजदूरों के, कर्मचारियों के अधिकारों का हनन है। साथ ही लेबर एक्ट के अंदर, इंडस्ट्रियल डिस्प्यूट एक्ट 1946 के अंदर भी इसका प्राविधान है, जो कि हमारा ये लोग क्लियर कट उल्लंघन कर रहे हैं। हमारा सम्मानित अतिथिगण वो इस चीज को देखें, समझें और इस पे काम करें, हमारे मदद करें। धन्यवाद। इसी के साथ मैं अपनी बात समाप्त करना चाहता हूं। सभी को धन्यवाद।
Thank you very much, Jayendra Kumar Rao sir. Thank you very much, Umrao sir. For your
राजू भाई नॉर्मल बात करें तभी हो पाएगी, इको आ रहा है।
आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही है, इको साउंड आ रहा है।
सब चीज
नमस्ते करो दिनेश
सेंटर को बोला था करे, वो भी करे, और अभी अपनी आवाज में इको आ रहा है तो उसको देखे राजू भाई और मुरली सर।
इंस्टॉल हो रहा है, बेटा बेटा सुनना।
Sir, I request Sunil to speak regarding OT and other issues.
सुनील कुमार सिंह।
राजू भाई आपकी आवाज पूरी नहीं आई। आप समझ रहे हो कि आपने डिलीवर कर दिया, लेकिन कुछ भी डिलीवर नहीं हुआ। दोबारा डिलीवर करें और कंट्रोल रूम के माइक्स को ऑफ करें और नॉर्मल बात करें, तभी हो पाएगा। साथ में मैं दोबारा याद दिला रहा हूँ, पीपीटी शेयर करना न भूलें। मुरली सर को और आपको दोनों को बता रहा हूँ, कंट्रोल रूम के माइक है वो बंद करें और नॉर्मल बात करें, तभी आपकी डिलीवर हो पाएगी। अभी आप ये समझ रहे हैं कि आपने डिलीवर कर दिया, कोई आवाज किसी को नहीं सुनाई दी, दोबारा डिलीवर करें।
Sir, thank you, Umrao sir, for giving you a valuable message. I request Sunil Kumar Sang to proceed in regard to the armed guard OT, sir. Sunil Kumar sir. Sunil Kumar Singh sir.
सर उज्जैन से दिनेश विश्वकर्मा जी हमारे साथ खड़े हैं। आप सभी अतिथियों का हाथ जोड़कर स्वागत अभिनंदन करते हैं। दोनों सब जगह जा जाके करा रहे हैं कि साफ कर दीजिए।
राजू जी, हेलो हेलो,
सुनील
सुनील
बोलिए बोलिए।
मेरी आवाज? धन्यवाद राजू जी। आज की इस मीटिंग में शामिल होने आए मुख्य अतिथि देवाशीष जी, अनिल जी, AIExBEF के ऑफिस बियरर्स और आज की इस मीटिंग में भाग लेने वाले हमारे सभी साथियों को सुप्रभात, हार्दिक अभिनंदन, वंदन, आभार। सत्य को कहने के लिए किसी शपथ की जरूरत नहीं होती। सत्य को कहने के लिए किसी शपथ की जरूरत नहीं होती। नदियों को बहने के लिए किसी पथ की जरूरत नहीं होती। जो बढ़ते हैं इस जमाने में अपने मजबूत इरादों के साथ, उन्हें अपनी मंजिल पाने के लिए किसी रथ की जरूरत नहीं होती। मैं मुख्यतः तीन बिंदुओं पे अपने मुख्य अतिथि महोदय का और AIExBEF के सभी पदाधिकारियों का ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहूंगा। उसमें सबसे पहला पॉइंट है आउटसोर्सिंग ऑफ आर्म गार्ड। जैसा कि आप सभी लोगों को पता है, भारत सरकार द्वारा पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंकों में पूर्व सैनिकों के लिए 14% रिजर्वेशन दिया गया है। पिछले कई वर्षों से बैंक मैनेजमेंट भारत सरकार की उस गाइडलाइन को नजरअंदाज करते हुए तमाम बैंक अपने यहां आर्म गार्ड को आउटसोर्स कर रहे हैं, जो कि भारत सरकार के गाइडलाइन का क्लियर उल्लंघन है। आज की मीटिंग में भाग लेने आए हुए मैं दोनों मुख्य अतिथियों से निवेदन करूंगा कि बैंक मैनेजमेंट और UFBU के द्वारा IBA के उचित फोरम पे इस मैटर को उठाया जाए। उसका सबसे अफसोसजनक पहलू यह है, अगर किसी एक स्टेट में हमारा आर्म्स गार्ड साथी अगर बैंक ज्वाइन करता है, एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे अगर वो यूपी ईस्ट का रहने वाला बंदा है और उसने आर्म गार्ड काडर में ज्वाइन किया, बैंक ने उसकी पोस्टिंग दे दिया यूपी वेस्ट में। वो इस उम्मीद पे वहां पे ड्यूटी कर रहा है कि जब नेक्स्ट भर्ती होगी तो मेरी यहां से रिलीविंग होगी, मैं भी अपने घर के नजदीक अपने बच्चों के पास चला जाऊंगा। लेकिन पिछले 5-7 सालों से ये चीजें बिल्कुल लगभग बंद सी हो गई हैं और उसका मुख्य कारण है बैंकों के अंदर आर्म गार्ड का आउटसोर्स होना। मैं एक चीज नहीं समझ पा रहा हूं, किसी भी फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूट में नकदी कैश सबसे महत्वपूर्ण विभाग है और उसी विभाग को मैनेजमेंट ने प्राइवेट के हाथों में सौंप दिया। मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि बैंक मैनेजमेंट ने अगर इस टाइप का कोई कदम लिया है तो अपने अपने बैंकों के मेजॉरिटी यूनियन को उस मुद्दे पर अपनी बात रखने का मौका जरूर दिया होगा। मैं एक एग्जांपल दे रहा हूं आप लोगों को। मैं यूनियन बैंक का एम्प्लॉय हूं। जब करेंसी चेस्ट में प्राइवेट कैश वैन, प्राइवेट गार्ड आउटसोर्स किए गए तो हम लोगों को यह बताया गया कि अभी ट्रायल बेस पे 6 महीने के लिए यह चीज देखी जा रही है। यह हमारे यूनियन के नेताओं द्वारा हम लोगों को बताया गया। लेकिन कुछ दिन के बाद जब यह पता चला, यह मैसेज आया कि बैंक जो है कैश वैन, आर्म गार्ड आउटसोर्स कर रहा है, हमारे नेताओं ने हमको यह आदेश दिया कि आप लोग डिस्ट्रिक्ट हेडक्वार्टर में इस चीज का विरोध करिए। लेकिन बाद में जब यह पता चला कि जब बैंक मैनेजमेंट ने यह नियम लागू किया या ये आदेश जब पारित किया, उस समझौते में मेजॉरिटी यूनियन के नेताओं का भी हाथ है। एक तरफ तो आप कहते हैं कि आप विरोध करिए, प्राइवेटाइजेशन ना हो, आउटसोर्सिंग ना हो, और एक तरफ आप समझौता करके आ जाते हैं मैनेजमेंट के साथ। ये डबल स्टैंडर्ड नहीं होना चाहिए। अगर आप कर्मचारी हित के लिए लड़ रहे हैं, कर्मचारी हित के लिए फाइट कर रहे हैं, यूएफबी को थ्रू IBA से फाइट कर रहे हैं, मैं पुनः निवेदन करूंगा मुख्य अतिथियों से, इस मैटर को IBA के सामने जरूर रखें और आउटसोर्सिंग बंद करके हमारा जो रिजर्वेशन कोटा है बैंकों के अंदर, वो पुनः बहाल किया जाना चाहिए। दूसरी चीज, तकरीबन सभी बैंकों के करेंसी चेस्ट में हमारे आर्म गार्ड भाई ड्यूटी करते हैं। जब छुट्टी होती है उस दिन हम सभी बैंक कर्मचारी अपने अपने पर्सनल लाइफ में व्यस्त होते हैं, अपनी अपनी पर्सनल लाइफ जीते हैं। लेकिन हमारे आर्म गार्ड भाई जो उस दिन ड्यूटी करते हैं उनको उस दिन की ड्यूटी का ओवर टाइम नहीं दिया जाता है, जबकि इस पे क्लियर कट गाइडलाइन है कि छुट्टी के दिन अगर कोई भी आर्म गार्ड अगर ड्यूटी करते हैं उनको उस दिन का ओवर टाइम दिया जाएगा। लेकिन बैंकों ने एक अपना अलग नियम बना दिया कि अगर आप किसी छुट्टी के दिन अगर ड्यूटी करते हैं उसके बदले में आपको एक दिन अवकाश दिया जाएगा। अब हमारे जो आर्म गार्ड भाई हैं उनका अपना पहले का इतना अवकाश पड़ा है कि वो अपने उस अवकाश को भी काट नहीं पाते हैं। मैं देवाशीष जी से, अनिल जी से पुनः निवेदन करूंगा इस मैटर को भी संज्ञान में लेकर के आईबीए के उचित फोरम पे, बैंक मैनेजमेंट के उचित फोरम पे ईओबीयू के माध्यम से रखें, जिसे हमारे आर्म गार्ड भाइयों को जो ड्यूटी करते हैं उसका ओवर टाइम दिया जाए। और इसका क्लियर कट सर्कुलर है, उसमें कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है। लेकिन बैंक मैनेजमेंट सदैव ही अपनी तानाशाही चलाता है बहुत सारे मैटरों में। लेकिन मैं एक चीज बता दूं, बिना संघर्ष बिना तकलीफ नहीं मजा है जीने में। बिना संघर्ष बिना तकलीफ नहीं मजा है जीने में। तूफान भी थम जाएगा यदि लक्ष्य अगर है सीने में। तीसरी बात, मेरा जो तीसरा पॉइंट है, बिफोर प्रमोशन एग्जाम ट्रेनिंग, जैसा कि हम सभी साथी देखते हैं सभी बैंकों में, पब्लिक सेक्टर के सभी बैंकों में, चाहे वो कोई भी कैडर हो, जितने भी रिजर्वेशन के थ्रू लोग बैंक में एम्प्लॉय हुए हैं, जिन भी कैडर में प्रमोशन आता है या वैकेंसी आती है, उन आरक्षित कैडर के लोगों को प्रमोशन टेस्ट से पहले ट्रेनिंग दिया जाता है। चूंकि बैंकों के अंदर हम लोग भी रिजर्वेशन कोटा के तहत आते हैं, इसीलिए हमें भी वो बेनिफिट मिलना चाहिए। इस मैटर पे जब AIExBEF ने बैंक मैनेजमेंट के साथ पत्राचार किया, हमें बैंक ऑफ महाराष्ट्र ने क्लियर जवाब दिया उनके यहाँ यह सुविधा लागू है। मैं बैंक ऑफ महाराष्ट्र के मैनेजमेंट का दिल से आभार धन्यवाद प्रकट करता हूं। इस पॉइंट पर भी मैं अपने मुख्य अतिथि महोदय का ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहूंगा कि वो उचित फोरम पे हमारे इस मांग को, अगर हम रिजर्वेशन कोटा के तहत बैंकों के अंदर आए हैं, जैसा कि आप सभी साथियों को पता है कि IBPS से पहले भी हमें फ्री ट्रेनिंग मिलती है। अगर हमें IBPS से पहले फ्री ट्रेनिंग मिलती है तो बैंकों में भी प्रमोशन टेस्ट से पहले हमें फ्री ट्रेनिंग मिलनी चाहिए और वो हमारा राइट है। अब मैं 2 केस स्टडी पे आप सभी का ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहूंगा। यूपी के अंदर बड़ौदा यूपी बैंक है। आप सभी लोग जानते हैं कि बैंकों के अंदर पूर्व सैनिक बैंकर्स को वेटेज मिलता है, चाहे वो प्रमोशन हो, चाहे ओडी हो, हाउसिंग लोन हो, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं। वहां पे अवार्ड स्टाफ से अफसर्स के प्रमोशन की वैकेंसी निकाली जाती है बड़ौदा यूपी बैंक में। हमारे एक पूर्व सैनिक बैंकर्स उसमें बैठते हैं और रिटन टेस्ट क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाते हैं। लेकिन जब अगली बार पुनः वैकेंसी आती है, वो जब पुनः फार्म भरते हैं तो मैनेजमेंट यह कह करके उनको मना कर देता है कि आपने यह सुविधा एक बार ले ली है, अतः आपको दोबारा यह सुविधा नहीं दी जाएगी। कितना बड़ा न्याय है आप लोग समझ सकते हैं। वह बंदा रिटन टेस्ट क्वालिफाई नहीं कर पाया। हाँ, अगर मैं पास होता, मैं रिफ्यूजल दे देता, उसके बाद अगर आप कहते कि आपने एक बार यह सुविधा अवेल्ड की है, पुनः आपको यह सुविधा नहीं दी जाएगी, तब तो उचित है, बैंक का कहना भी उचित है। लेकिन यहां पे टोटली बैंक गलत डायरेक्शन में अपनी बातों को रख रहा है। मैं मुख्य अतिथि महोदय से पुनः आग्रह करूंगा इस मैटर को भी अपने संज्ञान में लें। जैसा कि बैंकों के अंदर अन्य कैडर में अगर हम 10 साल भी कंटिन्यू पास नहीं होते रिटन टेस्ट, कंटिन्यू हम 10 साल परीक्षा में प्रमोशन टेस्ट में बैठते रहते हैं, लेकिन जब एक सर्विसमैन पास ही नहीं हुआ तो उसने उस सुविधा का फायदा लिया कहां से लिया? आप सभी से मेरा निवेदन है, ऑलरेडी हम लोगों ने इस मैटर पे लेबर कोर्ट में केस डाल रखा है, मैनेजमेंट बैक फुट पे आया है। होता क्या है, मैनेजमेंट अपने अड़ियल रवैये को जल्दी नहीं छोड़ता है। क्योंकि हम लोग संगठित हैं, एक संगठन के माध्यम से हम लोग अपनी बात रख रहे हैं, वो हमारा राइट है। बैंक मैनेजमेंट को आज नहीं तो कल, कल नहीं तो परसों हमें अपने राइट को लेना पड़ेगा और उनको देना पड़ेगा। मैं पुनः मुख्य अतिथि महोदय से निवेदन करूंगा, इस मैटर को भी अपने संज्ञान में लाए और हमारा जो राइट है, जो बैंक हमें नहीं दे रहा है, कृपया उस पर भी जरा अपना ध्यान आकर्षित करें। दूसरा केस स्टडी है बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा का। सब स्टाफ से अवार्ड स्टाफ के लिए वैकेंसी वहां पे निकाली जाती है। हमारे बहुत सारे एक सर्विसमैन साथी उस परीक्षा में बैठते हैं। जो भी रिटन टेस्ट का उन्होंने क्राइटेरिया दिया था बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा के मैनेजमेंट ने कि रिटन टेस्ट 60 नंबर का होगा, उसमें हमारे पूर्व सैनिक बैंकर साथी 58 नंबर, 55 नंबर, 56 नंबर, इवन कुछ साथी तो ऐसे हैं जो 59 नंबर भी लाए हैं। लेकिन इंटरव्यू करके उन साथियों में से किसी भी साथी को क्लर्क नहीं बनाया गया। मैं एक चीज जानना चाहता हूं, भारत सरकार का क्लियर आदेश है कि तृतीय श्रेणी और चतुर्थ श्रेणी के कर्मचारियों के लिए साक्षात्कार बंद कर दिया गया है। अगर भारत सरकार के इस गाइडलाइन का उल्लंघन करके तृतीय श्रेणी और चतुर्थ श्रेणी कर्मचारियों के परीक्षा में अगर बैंक मैनेजमेंट इंटरव्यू ले रहा है, इसके पीछे कोई न कोई मंशा बैंक मैनेजमेंट की जरूर है। और मैं एक चीज और बता दूं, इस मुद्दे पे AIExBEF ने RLC लखनऊ में केस किया हुआ है। 3 हियरिंग हो गई है। बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा की तरफ से डिपेंड करने के लिए उनके AGM साहब आते हैं, जो कि बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा के लॉ ऑफिसर्स भी हैं। बहुत सारी चीजों पे उनसे डिटेल में बात हुई, लेकिन बैंक कभी अपनी गलतियों को स्वीकार नहीं करता है। मैं पुनः इस मुद्दे पे भी इस मीटिंग में आए हुए अपने तमाम मुख्य अतिथि महोदय से निवेदन करूंगा, इन सभी मुद्दों को अपने ध्यान में ला करके उचित फोरम पे हमारे पूर्व सैनिक बैंकर्स के अधिकारों पे जो बैंक मैनेजमेंट कैंची चला रहा है, अपनी मनमानी की जो कैंची बैंक मैनेजमेंट चला रहा है, हमें ये सारी सुविधाएं भारत सरकार द्वारा दी गई हैं बैंकों के अंदर, लेकिन कहीं न कहीं बैंक मैनेजमेंट अपने अड़ियल रवैये के चलते हमारे इन सुविधाओं से हमें वंचित रख रहा है। मैं मुख्य अतिथि महोदय लोगों से निवेदन करूंगा कि वो इन सारे मुद्दों पे IBA के सामने या जो भी उचित फोरम है उस पर हमारी बात को रखें, ताकि हमें जो है इस मुद्दों पे उचित जो हमारा हक है, हमारा राइट है, वो हमें मिल सके। मैं AIExBEF संगठन के तरफ से, अपने सभी साथियों के तरफ से 2 चीजें रखना चाहता हूं। कई जीत बाकी है, कई बार बाकी है। अभी तो AIExBEF का कई सार बाकी है। यहां से चले हैं हम नई मंजिल पाने के लिए दोस्तों, या तो एक पन्ना भर है मेरे दोस्तों, अभी तो पूरी किताब बाकी है। साथियों, मैं एक चीज और बता दूं आप लोगों को,
गूगल पे सही आ गया।
आप हेलो साथियों, मैं एक चीज और यहाँ पे मैं एक चीज यहाँ पे और क्लियर कर दूं, अगर हम संगठित हैं और हम संगठित रहेंगे तभी हम बैंक के अंदर अपने अधिकारों को ले पाएंगे। अतः आप सभी से मेरा निवेदन है, संगठित रहें, मजबूत रहें और अपने हक के लिए लड़ते रहें। जब तक सांस है टकराव मिलता रहेगा, जब तक रिश्ते हैं घाव मिलता रहेगा। जो पीठ पीछे बोलते हैं उन्हें पीछे ही रहने दो। अगर हमारा रास्ता सही है तो गैरों से भी लगाव मिलता रहेगा। साडा हक इत्थे रख, साडा हक इत्थे रख, साडा हक इत्थे रख। आवर यूनिटी जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद, आवर यूनिटी जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद। AIExBEF जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद, AIExBEF जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद। धन्यवाद साथियों।
नाइस पिक्चर।
धन्यवाद साहब, आप जोश भरी आपकी अच्छे बातें के लिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच सर, आपने पूरा जोश दिला दिया हमें। सो नाउ आई रिक्वेस्ट Gaddipati Ravi Kumar sir to deliver his speech in regard to ex-serviceman cell. G Ravi Kumar sir.
Thank you very much. Distinguished representatives from UFBU, distinguished President sir, General Secretaries, and all Central Executive members available in this platform. Good morning to all. I feel honored to be able to advocate the ex-servicemen fraternity. Today, I would want to emphasize on the need to form an exclusive cell for ex-servicemen community at regional level, administrative office level, to address their issues at the initial stage itself. The general public of India light candles and maintain silence as a homage to the martyred soldiers when they lost their lives in the war front. However, a soldier after completing his tenure of service and become ex-serviceman and enters the banking industry, he is not as highly regarded as a soldier who spent his life in guarding the nation, and the ex-serviceman is being overlooked. I want to reiterate that there is no difference between a soldier and an ex-serviceman, except that the ex-servicemen are the unfortunate ones who did not get a chance to sacrifice their life for the mother nation. Every ex-serviceman is responsible for the peace of the general public of this country. It is the same as lighting the candles to the martyred soldiers and respecting an ex-serviceman. There are not two different people. When ex-serviceman enters banking industry, they are in their early 40s with ailing parents and teenage children who look forward to pursue their higher education, as also mentioned earlier by our colleagues. For having spent 20 years out of their habits and states, they are aliens to their native places. Taking an exit from service life and getting adaptive to their hometowns is a huge turmoil for the ex-soldiers and their families. Amidst these chores, they join banking for livelihood with their dire needs still being open. Time and again, ex-servicemen bankers have proved their mettle in being incredible assets to the banking industry with their commitment and loyalty. Despite being integral part of banking, they face many challenges. The entire fraternity feels to urge to create an exclusive ex-servicemen cell at the regional office level or administrative office level. A redressal cell manned by an ex-serviceman can facilitate some aspects such as improved employment process, pending recruitment blocks, placement in and around the hometown for caring their parents and schooling children, pay fixation related issues, listing of ex-servicemen employment position against the reserved vacancies, issues like exemption of professional tax for ex-servicemen by liaising with the local authorities at the state level, addressing the income tax issues of the ex-servicemen. These all can be met with an exclusive ex-servicemen cell at the lower levels. The ex-servicemen cell handled by ex-servicemen themselves can emphasize with the problems and troubleshoot them at the basic level without the ex-soldiers having to struggle more for their ends to meet. Though the compendium of IBA in its page number 38, para 7.3 says that the bank may designate suitable higher officers
especially in their personnel department, for the purpose of implementing the government orders on the subject to collect, to consolidate and scrutinize the data. The management is not giving enough weightage to the guidelines of the IBA. Hope this cell is aligned on a priority basis to respect and facilitate the ex-soldiers who take up the challenges as if they are in war room. I request the representatives from UFBU to take up the issue as far as possible on priority basis to establish ex-servicemen exclusive cells at RO, regional office and administrative office levels to make the life of the ex-soldiers easy. Thanking you very much for giving me opportunity. AIExBEF Jindabad.
Thank you very much, Kumar sir, for your powerful speech. Thank you for delivering everything clearly. So now I request Rajasthan team to emphasize in regard to the graduation equivalency to ex-servicemen. Secretary Officer Recording. Ramesh Kumar sir. From Rajasthan.
Good morning, sir. Honorable President, sir, General Secretary, and distinguished guest. Very good morning, and thanks to giving an opportunity to speak over this August platform. Sir, there are so many things that we are not in fighting spirit. That's what we are not able to get the things done. What is that? One of the case was demonetization by the associate banks. I used to take an opportunity to deliver the system with parity with the parent bank, SBI, but I could not succeed, sir. I raised this issue through ALC quota in 2009 December, but online case is registered in the January 20. By in between time we faced Corona, we could not proceed, and delivery of justice cannot be done at early. But we keep on following up the issues. They did say that while merger, they should opt or they should return an memorandum to the bank that he has not been paid so far in material form. Later on, we did put a RTI at corporate level and other places, and a regional level also, that what are the documents required to pay demonetization OT to the e-associate banks. Later on, at corporate level, something has come up. We filed these also in ALC quota. That material is available with them. They are not giving. They are just passing the things. ALC quota has done justice, and he asked, okay, can you tell who is the competent authority who has ordered for the SBI? And they are saying that it is not applicable to associates. who is the competent authority? The CMHR could not give the name. Then we did one thing. Okay, CDO might have given order to SBI employees, and we may call to CDO, to LC. Later on, they realized that they will not leave the issue. CDO cannot be called in LC, so they have put up their matter through legal vetting of documents, that this discrimination cannot be carried for a longer period. It may create IR issues. Management, or now my CGM HR was Rajesh Mishra sir. Himself corona patient at that time. Later on, he has given a clear direction. Okay, it will be paid to all the E-associate employees. Nearly 30,000 E-associate employees were given demonetization, OT. Sir, we are just accepting defeat, where you were at the verge to winning the case. Don't accept. Fight. Definitely one fine day you will get it through. On 2nd of March 2021, the verdict was given by the ALC quota that it has to be paid to each and every employees. Before that, bank has also issued a circular on 26th of February 2021 that it will be given to all. Nearly it was a project of 200 crores. You have to fight. 200 crores is nothing. They are showing, they are checking your resilience, how much you can stand for. सर, हार के आगे जीत होती है. कभी भी हार स्वीकारने के आगे मर जाना बेहतर है. यदि हम वार पॉइंट से जीत के आ सकते हैं तो हम यहाँ क्यों नहीं जीत सकते हैं. आप नेक्स्ट केस था CSC, कैश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सेल कोटा में. इसमें सर guards and clerical award staff are doing beyond the stipulated service timing, that is 5 to 7, 2 hours extra from the duty hours. मैं कहा कि आप तो या तो OT दे दें या फुल हॉल्टिंग दे दें. They did do nothing. नहीं दे सकते हैं. बट्टा अलाउंस कैन बी गिवन टू यू. नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल. ये मेरा राइट है और मैं डिमांड कर रहा हूं कि मुझे OT चाहिए. आप मना कैसे करेंगे. तो जनरल मैनेजर के पास हर दिन नहीं जा सकता है, हर दिन नहीं जा सकता है, लेकिन आप पुटअप तो कीजिए. जनरल मैनेजर बाहर से नहीं आए हैं. यदि कोई भी एजेंसी भारत में काम कर रही है तो भारत के लॉ के अनुसार काम करना पड़ेगा. बैंकिंग इंडस्ट्री हो या कोई हो, यदि भारत में हम बिजनेस करते हैं या भारत में रहते हैं तो भारत के लॉ को मानना पड़ेगा. रह गई बात कि कुछ जगहों पर ये लोग क्या करते हैं कि बात को घुमा देते हैं, मिस इंटरप्रेट किया जाता है. मिस इंटरप्रिटेशन को लॉ में इतना आसानी से आप भी नहीं होने देंगे. यदि कोर्ट ऑफ लॉ में आप जाते हैं तो डेफिनेटली आपकी जीत होती है, और डर के आगे तो हमेशा जीत है ही है. आप कभी न देखें कि क्या हो रहा है. CSC का केस 27 सितंबर को साइन हो जाएगा. मॉनेटरी बेनिफिट्स ऑलरेडी रिलीज्ड हैं. तो हमेशा ये मेरा मानना है कि लड़ने से, कृष्णा मूर्ति सर का फोन आ रहा है, लड़ने से आपको बहुत सारी चीजें मिल जाएंगी. आप हार मत स्वीकार कीजिए. आप सोल्जर हैं. मौत का तो काम है आना और जाना. जीत हमारी होगी. डिग्निटरीज जो आए हैं उनसे भी मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि राइट प्रीटेक्स्ट में देखा जाना चाहिए. इश्यूज को कभी भी बायस होकर नहीं देखा जा सकता. और सस्टेन नहीं किया जा सकता फॉर ए लॉन्गर पीरियड, तो आप अच्छे तरीका से उसको देखें और गाइड करें। हम सभी मिलकर एक स्वच्छ भारत का निर्माण कर सकते हैं, सुंदर भारत का निर्माण कर सकते हैं। और एक सर्विसमैन इसके लिए डेडिकेटेड होते हैं, क्योंकि इनके इथिक्स इन्हें छोड़ते नहीं है। या तो मर सकते हैं तभी साथ में जाएगा ये, उस बीच में कभी ये छोड़ते नहीं है इथिक्स। तो बेहतर है।
Definitely, sir. Sir, definitely, आपका point
सर कुछ राजू सर बोल रहे हैं क्या?
सर डेफिनेटली आपके पॉइंट बहुत वैलिड रहेंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच। सो आपका
जस्ट मैं
रिक्वेस्ट
फिनिश
टू
कर रहा हूं सर, मैं फिनिश कर रहा हूं। थैंक्स ए लॉट टू ऑल। थैंक यू सर।
थैंक यू रमेश सर। So now I request
सबको भी म्यूट करने का कंट्रोल रूम ध्यान रखे, वो थोड़ा देखे सर प्लीज। आप कंट्रोल रूम के माइक ऑफ करके बात करें, रिक्वेस्ट सर।
Right, sir. Now I request Vasachari sir to speak in regarding to the point of RRB guards.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, all. Sir, RRBs are formed in 1975 with a motto of serving rural people. And at that time, the business is very less. And most of the branches are situated in rural areas. So that's a different thing. But after, thanks to PV and Manmohan Singh government, later India government, the business has increased rapidly. And now business now business is more. So what we feel is the total strength of our staff is very less compared to that. So this armed guards issue, actually we are not established any strength of armed guards. So I request all to consider my point that armed guards, establishment of armed guard be taken up. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Vasachari sir. Thank you very much for your this thing. So now I request the chief guest or the General Secretary BEFI, Sri Comrade Devshish Basu sir, to deliver his speech in regard to the ex-servicemen present in the dais. Devshish sir, thank you. Sir, request Devshish Basu sir, the General Secretary BEFI, to deliver his speech, sir. Sir, Devashish sir. So meanwhile, I hope I request Chaudhary sir to deliver NOBW to deliver his speech, sir. Chaudhary sir, Anil Chaudhary sir.
Please unmute Chaudhary sir. He is muted.
सॉरी हाँ, ऑल इंडिया एक्स बैंक एम्प्लॉइज फेडरेशन के जावा साथियों, डेफी के श्री देवासी जी, आज की चर्चा में बहुत मुख्य विषय निकल के आए हैं से, और ये हर बैंक की, हर सर्विसमैन की समस्या यही है देने के लिए। ये जहाँ तक बहुत बढ़िया इशू आपका जो है वर्कमैन का, प्रमोशन के बाद
अनिल जी आप फिर अनम्यूट होकर कीजिए।
हेलो हेलो हेलो, इट्स ओके नाउ, ओके
You are audible, sir.
कहाँ शुरू करूँ? थैंक यू, आप सबका हार्दिक स्वागत है। मैं अनिल चौधरी, NFW क्षेत्र सेंट्रल मंत्री। ये जो आपके इशू हैं एक्स सर्विसमैन के, बहुत ज्वलंत और बहुत ही मार्मिक इशू हैं। पे फिक्सेशन, ट्रांसफर इशू पॉलिसी, प्रमोशन के बाद अधिक न होना, आउटसोर्सिंग ऑफ गार्ड्स का, RRB का इशू, ये सब संज्ञान में हर संगठन अपने हिसाब से करता रहता है। जो भी UBO के संगठन है, UBO के जो घटक हैं, इन इशू को लेकर चलते रहते हैं। क्योंकि अब सेटलमेंट जब होता है तो वो अलग विषय हो जाते हैं। तो वो मुझे कहते हुए बड़ा अजीब लगता है कि ये इशू थोड़ा सा जरा साइड में रख के चलते हैं। इनको लेते हैं, लेकिन जितने जिंदा दिली से रखना चाहिए कुछ कमी रह जाती है। तो इन इशू को लेके चलना है। हम लोग भारतीय मजदूर संघ के घटक हैं। हमारी निगाह में एक एक मजदूर, हम लोग मजदूर ही हैं जो बैंक एम्प्लॉई हैं, एक एक मजदूर की जो समस्या है उसको रखना है। और तरीके से एक सिस्टम है हमारे यहाँ, जो NW की कार्यकारिणी बात करेगी। उसके बाद प्रभारी जो भारतीय मजदूर संघ के माध्यम से ही हम लोग DFS या फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री में जाते हैं। लकीली जो हमारे मुख्य प्रभारी हैं, उनका प्रवास ज़्यादा दिल्ली रहता है। ये जो इशू है, ये अब आपने कहा कि ये रखा जाए, ये तो एक ईश्वरीय कार्य है। हम लोग अगर इसमें कुछ अपना सहयोग दे पाए तो, क्योंकि आप लोग वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने अपना जीवन ही दिया होता है देश के प्रति। और बैंक में ये एक अजीब विडंबना है कि मैनेजमेंट सोचते हैं यार ये तो एक सर्विसमैन है, दे कैन गो एनीवेयर। अरे भाई, अब वो जो उम्र थी देश के लिए, पूरा एक जवानी दी होती है, उसके बाद जरूरत पड़ती है कि इनको कहीं ना कहीं एक पेरेंट्स के पास रहा जाए। लेकिन दुर्भाग्य ये है कि बैंक मैनेजमेंट में हम जैसे इंसान होते हैं, लेकिन उनकी फीलिंग कहीं जाके थोड़ी सी कम हो जाती है आप लोगों के प्रति। आप लोग मेरे हिसाब से देवतुल्य लोग हैं। आप लोग जितना सम्मान किया जाए उतना कम है। जो विषय है इसको रखा जाएगा। जो हमारी अभी एक ऑफिस भर की मीटिंग होने वाली है, अक्सर ये रखते रहते हैं, ऐसी बात नहीं है, चलते रहते हैं। लेकिन स्पेसिफिक एक्स सर्विसमैन की इशू लेके चलने का ये हमारा विचार काफी समय चल रहा था। अभी हमारी अगले महीने एक बैठक होने वाली है, जो हमारे भारतीय मजदूर संघ के हमारे मुख्य, और इस सब इशू को लेकर बात करेंगे। और आप लोगों से मैं संपर्क में रहूंगा, क्योंकि पहले क्या है, जो हमारा सोच ये है कि राष्ट्र हमारे लिए पहले है। देश हित, श्रमिक हित और उद्योग, देश हित, उद्योग हित और श्रमिक हित, देश पहले है। अब देश के प्रति आप लोग से हम तो प्रेरणा लेते हैं एक्स सर्विसमैन से। राष्ट्र हित, उद्योग जहां हम काम करते हैं वो हमारा सेकंड है। उसके बाद हमारा लेबर का काम, मेंबर का काम बाद में हम लोग मानते हैं। ऐसा हमारा एक सिस्टम है। इस विषय को लेके चलेंगे, आगे रखा जाएगा। जैसे भी अगर कोई ऐसा बैठक होती है DFS से, फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री से, प्रयास करेंगे इस सिस्टम से, क्योंकि हमारे सिस्टम है, उसके सिस्टम के थ्रू चलना होता है। एक अधिकारी के थ्रू, उसके आगे अधिकारी के थ्रू चलना होता है। चलेंगे और पूरी मैं विश्वास देता हूँ आपको, आप सबको, कि पूरी प्रयास करेंगे कि जो समस्या है उनको रखा जाए और काफी हद तक उनको पूरा करने का प्रयास करेंगे। कोशिश हमारी पूरी रहेगी। थैंक यू साथियों, मुझे आज मौका दिया आप लोगों ने। जय हिंद, वंदे मातरम।
you very much for your coordination, support, and everything. Actually, we tried of bringing in all the consistency of UABU, but still everybody is engaged in other meetings. So thank you very much in a short period for gracing our event, and we will be thankful for and will be in follow up with you for the proceedings of other points in future. Right, sir. Now I request. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Devashish Basu sir from BEFI, General Secretary, to deliver his speech, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Firstly, at the outset, I would like to congratulate all of you for holding this webinar, though it is quite unfortunate that you tried to meet physically, but given the restrictions on assembly and movements, of course, it is not possible. Though we certainly feel that one physical meeting gives much more opportunity of expressing our own views in a very broad manner. Nevertheless, we are meeting virtually, and these platforms we are using in the given circumstances quite often. Now, I express my sincere gratitude that the BFI has been invited for this webinar, and I am given the opportunity of expressing our views to you. We consider that the ex-servicemen, particularly those who have joined the banking industry, their service to the nation is continuing even during this job in the banks. The ex-servicemen employees who have joined the banking industry during their career as servicemen, they have served the nation in very difficult and very remotest places of the country. Now, when they have joined the banks are also serving the people in remotest places of the country also. So by that way, all these ex-servicemen colleagues of us, they are serving to the nation, they are continuing to serve the nation in the same way that they are serving as in the army. Now, some issues have been raised. I just want to deal some of the very fundamental issues before you. That does not mean the other issues that we have raised do not have any relevance or do not have any importance. We'll definitely give our attention to those in appropriate time at appropriate level. Now, so far as posting and transfer is concerned for the ex-servicemen people, we firmly consider that almost all of the ex-servicemen bearing exceptional few, they are having their families, wives, children, aged parents, and particularly after serving the nation in difficult places, it is their due privilege of getting posting near to their residence. And we also feel that in a service sector like us, a happy and satisfied employee is in a position to give more to the people and to the institution in comparison to an employee who is not so happy and who is dissatisfied. And particularly the ex-servicemen employees who have served the nation for many years away from their families. Now a time has come that the institution also think for them so that they can be posted at a very near place. It is unfortunate, not unfortunate, but it is also a fact that there is no such policy in the industry level policy. Of course, at the insistence of the bankers, only a deployment policy has been signed by the unions with the Indian Banks Association. But all the policies are bank level policies. And I particularly understand that all bank level unions should take this an issue so that the ex-servicemen employees can be posted as near as possible to their residences to look after their families and serve the nation as a satisfied and a happy employee. So this is number one. Number two is that there are so many grievances regarding fitments and other privileges, other facilities that are due to them as per government guidelines. And we all know that different banks are treating these employees in different ways so far as fitments and other financial benefits are concerned. It has been a continuous endeavor on behalf of the United Forum of Banking Unions also during the recently concluded 10th bipartite settlement, that there should be a uniform guideline, particularly after each and every pay commission recommendations, there should be a guideline from the Indian Banks Association so that all the ex-servicemen employees in all the banks are treated uniformly, and these guidelines should be issued as per the Government of India guidelines. During the negotiation process, at one point of time, an understanding was reached that during the settlement or just after the completion of the settlement, the IBA will issue an uniform guideline taking all the government guidelines into consideration. But unfortunately, this has not been done. When it was raised in the negotiation, the IBA was of the opinion that there are so many litigations are there, and they are so apathetic to the ex-servicemen employees. And you have also already very correctly noted that as because there is no uniformity so far as treating these ex-servicemen in different banks are concerned, litigations are bound to happen. So that does not deter IBA from issuing a uniform guideline. And whom do we expect? This Indian Banks Association. You are also employed in the banking industry. So you should also get yourself involved in the ins and outs of the banking industry. What do you observe during the last concluded settlement? You know that Bank Employees Federation of India, we did not sign the settlement, the MOU, on 22nd July on some very important issues. And after the agreement of the particularly wage division of the insurance sector, this has come as a daylight, as broad daylight. That is the 5-day week. You are entitled to 5-day week. Now the IBA, as a stepmotherly attitude, they denied us a 5-day week. We are given 2.5% loading, whereas in insurance sector, the loading is 15%. Had this been 15% loading was done in our wage division, then the salary would have hiked to a further at least 60%. So this is number two. Number three is that in insurance, the whole special allowance has been merged with the basic pay, whereas our special allowance has been increased by 16% and we do not get any superannuation benefit on the special allowance. So the Indian Banks Association with a stepmotherly attitude and the government with a discriminatory attitude, they are treating the bank employees. And ex-servicemen employees are also of no exception. So far as your concern has been made, of course, at a very mature age, the ex-servicemen employees have joined the bank. Now, the threat of privatization of the public sector banks are looming large on us. The government has announced that 2 of the banks will be privatized. Now, certain proposals have been floated from your side that all the ex-servicemen, maybe all the employees, they should be given an opportunity to switch over to a public sector bank. How long it will happen? Because the government will not restrict by only privatizing 2 banks. If they are able to privatize 2 public sector banks, they will extend this until and unless all the 2 public sector banks are privatized. So our important role is to oppose this privatization. And if this privatization ultimately happens, then definitely we'll think about this, your proposals and other things. So far as other issues are concerned, like outsourcing, by denying appointment as in armed guard, in the post of armed guards. So far as OT on holidays are concerned, so far as training before the promotions are concerned, professional tax are concerned, these are all very relevant and important issues. And on behalf of BFI, I assure you that we will take this with appropriate authority at appropriate time, as so far we have taken many issues. Now, before concluding, I will say one more thing, that these ex-servicemen employees particularly, they are committed to their cause. We understand that. In comparison to a general employee, their commitment is much more. Their determination is much more. And we require them to fight with us, with the civilian people. Together, we can form a bond for fighting our cause, for safeguarding our institution, and for maintaining our lives and livelihoods and protecting our families. Together, in different parts, in different unions, different posts, the ex-servicemen people are being elected in the leadership. And we certainly hope that together, all of us will be able in the days to come to fetch or to acquire all our due from the government, and together we shall fight. Once again, congratulating you and wishing a very success to your national webinars that is being held today. I conclude my speech. Thank you. Thank you for the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, everybody please mute. Thank you very much, sir. One of our member want to speak. Sir, one of our member want to speak in regard to the privatization. I request him to please kindly go ahead with the topic of privatization.
Thank you, sir.
Raju, I request you to please play the PPT. कम से कम वो CHV वाला मैसेज तो डलवाइए या बाकी जो हमारे हैं वो भी डलवाइए, हो सके तो स्क्रीन शेयरिंग करवाइए प्लीज।
ओके सर, वो कर रहा है। राजू सिंह सर, प्लीज गो अहेड सर।
राजू, you आइए।
Unmute your mic. Raju, unmute your mic.
Thank you, sir. Honorable President Devashish Basu sir and other dignitaries. First of all, thank for providing this platform to stress and raise the most dreadful issue, which is rigorously disturbing the lives of almost 10 lakhs of bankers and their families. I would like to draw the kind attention of all dignitaries regarding ill move of government of privatizing PSBs and PSUs, which is severely affecting the morale, job security, and even life of PSM employed in public sector bank. As you all know, most of the ex-servicemen joined the PSB at the age of early or late 40s, after serving the nation for almost 20 to 25 years. Therefore, there are very least possibilities to get them re-employed after privatization of PSB due to their age. Government motive to sell PSBs, which comes under the strategic sector, in corporate hands is not only affecting the employees, but also endangering the deposits of common citizens. Apart from failure of around 360 private banks from 1947 to 1955, if you take as an average, almost 40 banks have failed per year. And recent examples are PMC Bank, where old age customers are still hunting for withdrawing their hard-earned money. Yes Bank, which was ultimately rescued by the India's largest PSU bank, SBI. Lakshmi Vilas Bank, which was sold to a foreign bank, DBS. DHFL, ILFS, Reliance Capital, India Bulls Housing, JNK Bank, Ujjwal Financial, PTC India Financial, etc. Now the matter is, what are the effects of privatization? How it will affect the employee as well as customer? There could be possibilities of maintaining branches that are profitable and opposed to those that may be struggling. This may also result in a complete relook of the human resources employed with the bank, and ultimately employees may lose their job. Some of the free services like passbooks, ATM cards, cash deposits, number of withdrawal, maintaining minimum balance into the saving accounts will get converted to paid model, and ultimately customer will have to suffer. Exploitations of employee will be increased on the name of target and performance. Labor laws will be severely abused. Deposits of almost 9 crore customers, which is around 9 lakh crore, will put on at the risk. Provisions of loans to the marginalized class like farmers and laborers will be stopped. Now, what are the options available with us to stop this privatization drive? As Honorable Devashish Basu sir said, that we can mobilize the people, we can educate the people, but what I feel, what the UFU Constituents Union can do, and what I feel the Constituents Union of UFU are not taking the privatization issue as seriously as it's supposed to be. There is a legal option. If possible, we can file a PIL in Honorable Supreme Court with the help of any lawyer. Democratically, we need to call a nationwide indefinite strike by giving a prior notice. Such token of a strike like 2 to 3 days will not serve the purpose. We cannot wait for the government final decision of privatization. We should be one step ahead. We can also form a committee of UFU members to consult with the other political leaders and stakeholders to seek their support against the privatization drive of government. We can consult with other PSU unions and if possible can bring them under one umbrella for calling a nationwide strike in all the PSU together, which will be more effective. Should look for a mechanism with the help of other political parties if required to educate the public regarding the pros and cons of privatization. As you know, public sector banks are the backbone of our economy. They have done extremely well in the development of our country. There are some of achievements of our public sector banks I would like to bring it in your notice. In 1969, the number of branches of public sector banks were 8,187. And presently it is almost 1,61,000. The rural branches was in 1969 only 1,400. And presently it is 52,632. Implementation of government-sponsored scheme meant for marginal class. As you know, our present government are always announce thumbs up their chest for the APY, PMSBY, PMJDY, etc. But they forget about our contribution. They didn't mention that the most of the scheme implemented by the public sector banks, even above 98%. And the contribution of so-called corporate banks, private banks are merely 2%. Therefore, I will request to the dignitaries of UFU to kindly further sustain the fight against the privatization and take it to the another level. There is one more few points I would like to add. It is regarding the ex-servicemen employees. There is a letter of Ministry of Finance, Department of Financial Services dated 1983 regarding the fitment of ESMs re-employed in the public sector banks. The para 3 of the letter said, and I quote, the previous service of an ex-serviceman employee re-employed in the public sector bank may be taken into the account for the purpose of home loan, conveyance loan, etc. under the staff welfare scheme. Still, many PSBs and RRBs are not adhering the same and have put up bar for availing any such loans under the staff welfare scheme, which recently I came to know through RTI. I had put up a RTI to DFS and all the public sector banks, and I came to know that maximum public sector banks are not counting our previous service for the purpose of home loan, car loan, or any other loan under the staff welfare scheme. That should be taken up. Recently, a issue raised regarding the refixation of ex-servicemen employed on or after 11 November 2017. There is a clear guidelines in the IBA circular. The refixation of ex-servicemen who have been re-employed in the bank on or after 11 November 2017 supposed to be done on the stage-to-stage basis. But what we see, many public sector banks are refixing the salary of the ex-serviceman by not adhering the IDA guidelines and reducing their increment and recovering it. I think this issue should be taken up by the UFB constituents. That's all from my side, and I would again request Devashish Basu sir, I have spoken many times with him, to further sustain the fight against the privatization. We cannot just ideally sit and wait for the government order to come. No, we will have to come forward and we will have to mobilize the movement. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for everything.
Well done, Ajay.
And this privatization, sir. So, any other member want to speak anything in regard? Please come up, sir. Any members? Anyone can hand raise, sir, please. So, any member want to speak in regard to anything?
Sir, Mahesh Chandra wants to speak. Mahesh Chandra and Gujla Venkata Pratap.
GV Pratap, sir. GV Pratap Reddy, sir, please go on, sir. Pratap Reddy, sir. GV Pratap Reddy, sir, from Telangana GS.
अपने आप को अनम्यूट कीजिए और आगे बढ़िए सर.
Pratap Reddy, sir.
I think Mahesh Chandra is ready, sir.
So, sir, Mahesh Chandra, sir, please go ahead. Rest of you, please mute your devices, sir.
Sir, good afternoon, sir. I'm Mahesh Chandra from Canara Bank. Hello.
Sir, go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
You are audible, sir. Please
Sir,
go ahead.
Sir, good afternoon. Mahesh Chandra from Canara Bank, sir. Sir, my problem is this, sir. In this banking industry, we as servicemen are transferring to more distance than other people. I don't know why management and circle officer, regional officer doing this thing, because they are making finger point to assessment. They go anywhere in India and serve anywhere.
Sir, 1 minute to interfere, and this point is already covered,
correct.
so not an issue, and it will be taken up from this thing.
Okay, sir. This is my point only, sir. This is my point, sir. It will be
Sir,
taken care, sir, please.
It is already covered, sir. So
Okay,
we'll
thank you, sir.
2 minutes in this regard, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Any other points, sir?
No, sir. This is the main point for assessment, sir. This is the main point.
Now you can mute, sir. You can mute, sir. Your point is already been discussed. So. Pratap Reddy, sir.
Sir, Sudhir Patnaik.
Sudhir Patnaik, sir, from Odisha. Please go ahead, sir.
Sudhir Patnaik.
Sir, good afternoon to all. Today, we have discussed in detail about the difficulties that we all are facing in the banking industry. My appeal to all those who are available in this August forum to make AIExBEF a more potent weapon by including more members, because number matters. What happens is that since our strength is less compared to other organizations, if we increase our membership drive, then our voice will be heard and we will be more effective. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sudhir, sir, definitely we would like to go ahead with your point of increasing the membership. See, only one thing, unitedly only we can find everything. So already it is clear, front. We are being in touch with other union leaders so that they too monitor, because we are not being the consistency of IBA and UFBU. So we're trying to put up our points. Already points have been spread in our groups, and every point is been taken care so that every point will be reaching through the thing for the next settlement and everything. So as we are not the consistency, still we are also members from the other parent unions, and we are holding the membership in their unions too. But our problems which are all there are beyond IBA, and which the directives of government of India and DOPT, DOPFS, and all these departments are being involved for our problems to be taken up. So I request that whatever problems we have, definitely we must study it in a proper way. And I request other unions also will be giving their coordination. Only thing that we have to make them understand what is our pain. So already the leaders who are put it in the same as seen the issues, and they have seen the public opinion. So I think that it will be a better member to understand that until unless we unitedly fight for our issues, whatever it may be, privatization tomorrow, in every bank there are many unions, and we are also one of the part of them, and definitely we are with them in every issue, and we'll come upon their calls. And at the same time, whatever issues are there, we have to go ahead with the unification of our ex-servicemen, and definitely our ex-servicemen will be given, and at every area we are having our platform. So I request you to reach the nearest platform wherever you are. So otherwise you are always welcome to call upon our central team or state team, whichever is there. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, Raju sir.
So, anyone else?
Sir, Raju sir, Ravi Kumar,
Yeah.
since it is an interactive section, we can allow others also in the group through Google Meet. Kindly
Yeah,
tell the admin to allow, sir.
it's already been done, sir. It's already been done. We
Okay,
are
sir.
admitting
Fine, sir.
everyone now.
Fine,
Because
sir.
now it has been open. Still now we thought of seeing that everybody is already, we are 83 now. Shishram Swami sir, please speak upon, sir. Swami sir from Rajasthan, President Rajasthan.
Good morning, respected President, General Secretaries, and our invited guest Basu sir and Chaudhary sir. We have discussed the various issues at length, and they have assured us that every effort will be taken up to resolve all these affected issues. Most importantly, I request these two dignitaries of the UFBO constituents, and whenever there is an opportunity, we throw our center team project to the other constituent office bearers of UFBO that kindly consider our request that our
वॉल्यूम बहुत
AIEBF
कम आ रहा है सर
Okay, I will increase the volume. Through our UFBO dignitaries who are present in this our webinar, and whenever we get an opportunity to interact with other UFBO constituent office bearers and UFBO convener, we would like to request that because now next bipartite settlement deliberation will start in a due course, maybe within 6 months or maybe within a year. Kindly consider our request for inclusion of at least one ex-serviceman member from AIEBF to be part of deliberation, so that issues related to ex-servicemen can be presented in a better way. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Definitely, sir, it is a valid point, Swami sir, and I request you to look into the matter if possible can be taken up. So see, only until unless the representation and whatever it may be can be made, but that representation must be entertained by the consistencies first. So we request that whatever point we send, kindly consider or give some reply on that so that we can go ahead with the other direction or with another point. Otherwise, but most of the cases we see that whatever we represent, we don't get any reply from neither the IBA, neither from other these things. So we request you to kindly give at least yes or no or whatever taken up or not taken up or this thing. But for long pending, the status is not being known. And I request the UB leaders present in the meeting to kindly give the update whether it has been taken up or what is the status. Thank you, sir. Any more, sir?
Sir, kindly allow Srinivasan Venkatesh, President of AIExBEF TN.
Okay, sir. Please, sir.
Tamil Nadu. Venkatesh, sir, please, sir, present your point. Venkatesh, sir, please, you can present your point.
Please unmute yourself and carry on.
सर मैं कुछ बोलना चाहता हूं सर
this year by putting this much effort.
GK Rao, sir, go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. Jai Hind, everyone. Please accept our regards from Team Maharashtra.
Rahul Mishra, sir, please wait, sir. Let GK Rao, sir, complete. I'll give you the chance.
Okay. I thought, okay.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Sir, good afternoon, everybody, sir. Respected President, sir, and General Secretary AD, and all the seniors and the experienced warriors who are part of this, our great organization, AIExBEF. I am very much privileged to be a part of National Webinar AIExBEF September 2001. And मैं एक सोचता हूँ कि ये हमारा बहुत बड़ा जीत है हम भी ऐसे नेशनल लेवल में एक वेबिनार कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं और हमारा जो इस स्टेप सक्सेस होने के लिए जो आदमी इसके सामने और इसके पीछे खड़ा होके आगे पुश कर रहे हैं हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को उन सबको मेरी तरफ से एक लाल सलाम है और मैं अपनी छोटी सी दिमाग से एक छोटा सा बात बोलना चाहता हूँ हम लोग जो है अभी हमारा पेरेंट में बैरियर्स हो गया क्योंकि क्या हमारा जो नीचे यंग जनरेशन है और हमारा ऊपर जो सीनियर्स है जो आर गोइंग टू रिटायर इन अनदर नेक्स्ट 2 years कंप्लीटली तो ये हमारा टाइम है अगर मेरे पास कोई प्रॉब्लम है आइदर ट्रांसफर का हो या किसी ना किसी का प्रॉब्लम है लेट अस सम अप आवर एक्स-सर्विसमैन और मोर एक्सपीरियंस एंड प्लान ए एक्शन प्लान टू बीट इट क्वेश्चन कर जैसे हम लोग अपने सामने से क्वेश्चन करके उसका आंसर भी हमें ढूंढना है अगर मुझे कोई ट्रांसफर का प्रॉब्लम आया तो मेरे कैनरा बैंक से जो 3-4 आदमी लोग हैं उनसे मैं बात करूंगा और इसका रिजोल्यूशन क्या हो सकता है क्योंकि क्या होता है हमारा जो प्लेटफॉर्म है ऑल इंडिया एक्स-सर्विस बैंक एंड फेडरेशन मेड डिस्ट्रिक्ट टीम्स देयर आर नो सच टाइप ऑफ टीम्स इन अदर नेशनल यूनिट्स सो हमारा जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट टीम है मीट करिए और बात करिए कुछ ना कुछ तो सोल्यूशन निकाल सकते हैं क्योंकि अगर मेरे पास नहीं है तो मेरा दोस्त के पास होगा यूनियन में पेरेंट यूनियन में कुछ लिंक होगा उससे तोड़ सकते हैं और हमारा जो 5-6 बंदे में जो एक्टिव होगा जो पेरेंट यूनियन में ज्वाइन करो और पीछे से सपोर्ट दो हम अपने आप से प्रॉब्लम पुट अप करने से सॉल्यूशन भी हमें अपने देना है बिकॉज वी आर दैट मच मैच्योर्ड एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर गिविंग मी दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी थैंक यू सर
Right, thank you, Kantarao, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request Venkatesh sir from Tamil Nadu to speak in regard, sir. Rahul Mishra, sir, after this you can go ahead. Plus, let's Venkatesh sir speak upon, sir. Venkatesh sir from Tamil Nadu.
Venkatesh sir, go ahead, sir.
Venkatesh ji, unmute yourself and carry on, sir.
Sir, please unmute. Your voice is not clear, sir. Sir, voice नहीं आ रही. वेंकटेश सर.
Well, sir, morning to all morning.
You are not audible.
अभी सर अभी आ रहा है क्या कैसे सुन पा रहा हूँ हेलो
Yeah.
हेलो
Sir, please.
Am I audible now?
सर पीछे फैन से
You are audible, sir. Please go ahead.
Sir, very good, sir. It's a great effort by the team, shuttle team. We appreciate that. This type of meetings is to be conducted regularly. It's my recommendation. Then only people will come to know. Instead of all seas, we can take the region wise. It's a great effort. Being in the chair only, people will come to know the problem faced by everybody. So I appreciate that. I thank all whoever is involved in conducting these meetings. Sir. Please go ahead. Our support is with the central team always. Jai Hind.
Rahul Mishra sir from Maharashtra, please go ahead, sir. Rahul Mishra, sir.
Jai Hind everyone. Please accept our regards from team Maharashtra. मेरे मन में कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं और मुझे लगता है कि शायद वो सवाल आपके मन में भी होंगे, तो उनका जवाब हमें खुद ही ढूंढना है. सबसे पहले तो आर वी ग्रोइंग एज अ ट्रेड यूनियन? द आंसर इज यस, अ बिग यस. आर वी गोइंग इन अ राइट डायरेक्शन? यस, वी मस्ट से यस. बट द स्पीड we are going is really good or marvelous. इसमें हमें सोचने की जरूरत है. क्या ये स्पीड हमें कब तक एक ट्रेड यूनियन के रूप में पहचान दिलवा पाएगी? हम कब यूएफबी के पास जाके बैठेंगे? गवर्नमेंट हमें कब रिकॉग्नाइज करेगी? आईबीए हमें कब अपने पास बुलाएगा कि हाँ भाई आपकी भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स है? इसके बारे में सोचने की बहुत जरूरत है. दूसरा, कुछ ही स्टेट्स को छोड़ के 4 या 5 स्टेट्स हैं जो कि बहुत ही अच्छा कर रहे हैं. दे आर डूइंग रियली अ ग्रेट जॉब. बट और अदर्स स्टेट्स का क्या है, वहां पे क्या प्रॉब्लम है, वो क्यों नहीं कर पा रहे हैं? क्या इसके बारे में भी हम कुछ सोच सकते हैं या डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं? तो मेरा सजेशन ये है कि एटलीस्ट सेंट्रल टीम से स्टेट टीम के साथ में, एटलीस्ट प्रेसिडेंट और जीएस के साथ में क्वार्टरली एक मीट वेब हो जाए, वेब मीटिंग हो जाए, तो हम एक दूसरे का सहारा भी बन सकते हैं, एक दूसरे की प्रॉब्लम्स क्या हैं वो भी समझ सकते हैं, और हम ग्रो तभी कर पाएंगे जब एक दूसरे का साथ दें. हो सकता है कि टीम यूपी बहुत ही अच्छा कर रही है, टीम एपी बहुत बढ़िया कर रही है, एमपी में भी लगातार बहुत अच्छे प्रयास जारी हैं गोविंद शर्मा सर की तरफ से. बट जो दूसरे स्टेट्स हैं, दिल्ली है, चंडीगढ़ है, गुजरात है, या फिर महाराष्ट्र है, और बहुत सारे स्टेट्स हैं हमारे, क्या हम सच में अच्छा कर रहे हैं? क्या ये हमें सेटिस्फेक्शन देगा? यहाँ पर ये पॉइंट में सोचने की एक्चुअली रही बात मेंबरशिप की. मेंबरशिप तभी बढ़ेगी जब हम साथ में ग्रो करेंगे, एक दूसरे के साथ बात करेंगे, तभी हो पाएगा. अगर किसी को कोई ये पॉइंट मेरे गलत लग रहे हैं तो मुझे अभी भी बता सकते हैं. उसके लिए मैं क्षमा चाहता हूँ अगर किसी को कुछ बुरा लग रहा है यहाँ पे तो. बट मैं किसी को पॉइंट आउट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, सेंट्रल टीम से किसी को पॉइंट आउट नहीं कर रहा हूँ, अपनी टीम से किसी को पॉइंट आउट नहीं कर रहा हूँ. बट ये है कि जो स्टेट्स अभी डाउन है परफॉर्मेंस में, क्या हम उनसे बात कर सकते हैं? क्या हम उनके पास जा सकते हैं? उनके जो अदर्स लीडर्स रहे हैं पहले, उनसे क्या हम बात कर सकते हैं?
भाई
उनको साथ में
ये
लेके हमें काम करना है. जी सर बोलिए।
थोड़ा स्पीड अप कर दीजिए।
ठीक है सर, मेरे पॉइंट्स कंक्लूड हो गए। थैंक यू एवरीवन।
ओके सर।
प्रकाश सर।
ओके सर।
राजेश कन्नन सर फ्रॉम तमिलनाडु।
सर मैं कुछ बात कर सकता हूँ? बीवीजी श्रीनिवासराव फ्रॉम आंध्र प्रदेश। नारायण
सर वणक्कम सर, राजेश कन्नन सर।
सर
हेलो हेलो।
Raju sir, BVG is ready to join. Kindly consider.
सर राजेश कन्नन सर, मैं बोल सकता हूँ?
Sir, if the chair permits, BVG Srinivasarao want to talk from Andhra Pradesh.
सर राजेश कन्नन मैं बोल सकता हूँ?
राजेश कन्नन बोलिएगा।
सर अब मेरा नाम राजेश कन्नन सर, एसबीआई तिरुपुर से बोल रहा हूँ सर, तमिलनाडु। सर मेरा एक छोटा सा पॉइंट है, सभी का जो सैलरी है वो बराबर नहीं होता है यहाँ। बराबर मतलब क्या, जो लेटेस्ट ज्वाइन कर रहा है उनका अलग है और पुराना आदमी है उनका अलग है। ये सब बराबर क्यों नहीं हो सकता है? जब एक साथ एनरोल होते हैं सबका एक इक्वली क्यों नहीं हो सकता है? क्योंकि एक का कोई बेसिक 20 है, एक का 30 है, एक का 40 है, लेकिन कुल मिला के एक दूसरा का भाई एक ही ड्यूटी कर रहा है, एक ही 24/8 आवर्स ड्यूटी कर रहा है, लेकिन 15-20 हज़ार एक दूसरा से ज़्यादा ले रहा है। यही मेरा पॉइंट है सर। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Rajesh Khanna sir. Sir, BVG Rao sir, please go ahead sir. Srinivasa Rao sir.
Srinivasarao from Andhra Pradesh. प्रकाश भाई
Sir, your voice is low, sir.
धन्यवाद। और नारायण साहब जो भी मतलब अभी मीटिंग पे है, आई कांग्रेचुलेट यू ऑल।
सर थोड़ा आवाज बढ़ाइए, आवाज
फॉर अरेंजिंग दिस मीटिंग। ओके एंड एक चीज जो है AIExBEF ऑल इंडिया एक्स सर्विसमैन बैंक एम्प्लॉयज फेडरेशन जो आगे बढ़ रही थी उतना तेजी अभी नहीं है। जैसे भी मैं सुना कुछ स्टेट्स में कम हो गया, क्या हो गया, ये चीज जो है वंस यू टेक द फेडरेशन टू सच ए लेवल्स वेयर वी कैन फाइट फॉर एनीथिंग, तब होता है बात। फेडरेशन का जब हमसे उत्तेजित होके LIC वाले re-employed ex-servicemen in the public sectors means other sisters of this one, AIExBEF बोलते हैं उसको, वो लोग इतना आगे बढ़ चुके हैं कि हमसे ज्यादा। But the hats off to the AIExBEF, we are not political, we are apolitical. मैं भी बोलता हूँ, we didn't give any of our modesty to any of the political party, but some has gone to the political parties। BMS को AIExBEF ने दे दिया, जैसे LIC, it has not given any affiliation to any of the political party, but LIC has reached such a level they are talking with the MOF, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Defense. They have taken inspiration from us, but how they are reaching that much way? But बैंक एम्प्लॉयज के सामने इंश्योरेंस एम्प्लॉयज कितना है आप समझते हो?
BVG sir, definitely will
something I want to tell is उनके साथ चलने का भी समय आ गया अभी।
So let us conclude the meeting. We have discussed it internally.
Definitely we'll do it, sir.
They took inspiration from us and they are going ahead and we are lagging behind.
Definitely we have to, sir.
Definitely we have to, sir. Let us speak in this regard.
Okay.
So
now I require, I am very for presentation and every question I request Suresh Kumar DGS Sodi to give vote of thanks to our meeting, sir. Suresh Kumar sir, DGS Sodi. Request you to give the vote of thanks.
Some one or two people left sir for raising, they raised the hand.
Agreed, sir, but we have a very short of time and we cannot keep the VIPs for
Okay,
this
sir.
common.
Okay, sir.
Already points, all the maximum points have been covered up. So we have taken much of the time. So it need to be concluded because everybody's mobile data and telephone charging is been very drastically down. Even mine also will be cut off within 2 minutes. So let us, it's almost 2.5 hours over. So 10 o'clock to almost 3 hours. So now I request Suresh sir to go ahead with his vote of thanks. Suresh sir. DJ Sodi. Suresh Kumar sir.
Myself, IT, DJ's IT, Muralikrishna.
Yeah, sir. Please go ahead.
Good day, yourself and the Bengal.
I request DGS IT to clear the picture regarding our website. Please, I think.
Oh. Sir, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just would like to present the PowerPoint. Yeah.
राजू भाई म्यूट करो अपने आप को.
Yeah, good afternoon to all the AIExBEF members and the guests of honors who have the privilege, who has given the privilege to join with us. And I'll speak something about our website. On the backdrop, our AIExBEF website has been started with the basic idea of covering all the fast-growing memberships. We after 2015, the memberships grew very fast, and due to the fast-growing strength of this federation, there was a urgent need of a unique platform wherein things can be accommodated and people can be registered instantaneously, and they can be given all the facilities or some gathering informations, payment issues, resolving that. Then coming to a single and unique platform where things can be, it can be resolved, being together. That's where the backdrop of this particular site. This was designed by our IT team, and the membership, which is based on the subscriptions, they are supposed to be maintained transparently. Basically, we have seen in other maybe in general formats, we see organizations, they just give a list of memberships and that's it. People will have that, and no other information is displayed on the websites. But this particular website is unique. It displays all the fund information also, the transparency factor of the subscriptions which we gather from members, that accountability factor, accountability of the particular subscriptions is also displayed on the website. However, it is to the administrators and treasurers, but these figures are shared with all the members wherever needed and whenever needed. So these memberships are based on subscriptions. The transparency factor is taken into account while designing the site. The members' information is kept safe and secure. The members cannot log in directly, or they can register directly. Once they give the initial subscription, they will be provided with a user password, wherein they will log in for the first time and update their profile with important and mandatory information. And they have to wait for the confirmation from the administrator. After this confirmation, they can log in and they can check all the data, and they will get full access to the website to the extent which is they deserve. And by doing all this, by providing this website, all these features, we are trying to gain members' trust, and the members always preserved. The salient features of the site: full information about the federation and subscription. These details are displayed on the site. General user without logging in also can view the information, and they can contact the leaders, top leaders of the state-wise leaders. They can contact them to gather the information about how to register, how to log in, and any other related issues. Secondly, membership, the registration is completely, as I already said, the membership is completely driven by the registration, with the registration subscription amount which is to be paid either by monthly or lifetime subscriptions. The profile updation with the photo of the member. This is a provision we are given in the website. Members can update, change, other than the mandatory things. Rest all things they can change. They can change the address. They can change the present place of posting. They can change the mobile numbers. Like that, they can change the access to the people. Again, secondly, verified with the administrator. So Federation identity card is provided online. Member just have to log in, click on the ID card, he gets it. As simple as that. Now, state-wise information display for administrators and teachers. This is an additional feature that we have given on our site. So state administrator will be able to see the information which is pertaining to their particular state only. It is confined to their state only. District leaders will be able to see the information pertaining to their district only. Central leaders will be able to see all, and they will be able to manage it all. Their administrative privileges are confined to central accounting and application. These activities by Federation are accessible to all users. Activities like we go for blood donation camps, we go for cycling, and various other activities being taken periodical, and those activities can be viewed by all users on the site. Further, various circulars and letters accessible to all users. They can see as and when these things are getting updated by the administrator time and again, and those are accessible to all general users. So similarly, user management is also a special feature of our site that keeps changing as per the Federation requirement as CEC approves it. So one more link we are given. All bank links direct access from the site. We just people can get to go to any bank at single click from the site. The administrator and treasurers can get the details of respective states and central accounts with income expenditure breakup. This is an additional feature which gives the transparency to the site and the Federation both. So the transparency factor is always the mandatory thing when the Federation to keep its strength and trust of the members. And last, flexible. It's a convenient user management by administrators. Administrators have all the facilities to control, change, give the powers, and revoke the powers. All the facilities are given to the administrators, and the site is totally of their control. Now, the future proposals. We have some future proposals to upgrade the site. As of now, the site can be viewed comfortably on a desktop system. In mobiles, one has to scroll down sideways. So the things which are a little cumbersome. So we have already initiated a process, the coding process, to design a responsive site which is on the verge of completion. People can view in tablets also, mobiles also, and sites on the desktop with a new look and with new improved features. So the members blog page of the construction are including the site. People can interact with each other. They can discuss, debate, or they can share information. All this that feature is also being we are trying to include in the site. Online payment of membership subscription is in process. That will be implemented and included in the next upgraded website. And these are the screenshots, sir. You all can see. This is before login. And user ID, password, and change password, forget password, states. Right side in the middle, you can see state federations, various zones under which states are distributed. This is the one you can see. I have logged in as a GGS IT. You can see the menu systems, all the menus are available on top. The state federation links are there. You can see Southeast zone with Andhra Pradesh, Andaman Nicobar, Odisha, and Telangana. All the 4 states. This is how the site looks, and that is the end of it. And, we are planning
Presentation is
for.
not visible, sir. Sorry to disturb. Presentation is not visible.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Murali Krishna, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, now I request one of our AP member, Argopal sir, who is going to retire in 1 month. So we want to discuss something. So let us hear him first, sir. Argopal sir from AP.
Hello. Hello. Good up. Good up.
ऑफ कीजिए सर।
Hello. Hello. All the gentlemen on the dais and all the gentlemen who joined the webinar meeting. My name is Dharma. I joined Defense Services in 1978 and retired in 1993. And in 1993 itself, I joined in the banking sector. I joined in Andhra Bank as a clerk cum cashier. And afterwards, as on date, I'm working as a scale to manager and presently in the Union Bank of India. I have one anomaly which our bank employees are facing as an ex-serviceman. That is, while retiring, and none of our ex-servicemen could complete 33 years of service because of their previous services rendered in the defense services. So, when the pension was sanctioned, as per the Bank Employees Pension Policy 1995, the last 10 months average basic has been divided by 33 years and multiplied by the number of years completed, which is an anomaly which has nowhere available in any government services. All government services, any other services, hello. So the pension which is being sanctioned to the ex-servicemen is supposed to be last 10 months average divided by 2. That is 50% should be the pension average basic. Whereas in banking sector, it is being linked with the number of years service completed. That is, total pension, 100% pension will be given to the person who completes 33 years of service. Such sort of anomaly is not available in any government service. For example, if an ex-serviceman is joining in any central government service, when he is retiring after completing the minimum qualifying service, that is 20 years, he is getting full pension. Whereas in banking service, we are not getting. This anomaly should be rectified, and all bank employees, whoever is retiring and drawing second pension, should be given full pension that is applicable, that is 50% of his last 10 months applicable gross salary. That is the anomaly which should be rectified, and the leaders and UFB members, they should take up this matter and rectify and do justice to the people who retired from the banking service and who are going to be retired from the banking service. Thank you very much.
Sir, thank you very much, sir. Sir, now I request Suresh sir to give vote of thanks. for the meeting, sir. Suresh sir, vote of thanks, please. Suresh sir. DJ Sodi, Suresh sir, vote of thanks, please, sir.
बोलिए सुरेश सर. Suresh sir, please speak on.
Respected President, Prakash Tagrar sir, respected GS, Raju sir, officiating GS, Krishnamurthy sir, and other sector leaders of AIExBEF and all UBO leaders who has joined our meeting, and BEFI leader, and all the members who has joined this meeting. So, and the successful meeting which was conducted through the support of DGS, IT, Murali sir, and all the leaders who has taken up all the issues faced by the ESMs in the banking services, which was given confirmation by the leaders of the UOPO and BEFI. We submit our thanks to all the leaders and the members for attending the meeting since 10:30 to 1 o'clock. Further, we expect to work together to resolve all the issues. Thank you.
Errors of Thank you, Anil sir. Thank you all, sir.
Sir, national anthem, sir, please.
Let's go ahead for Janaganamana, sir.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा
हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंग तब शुभ नामे जागे, शुभ आस गाए तब जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय है भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय है जय है जय है जय 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 है। जय हिंद।
जय हिंद। भारत माता की जय।
भारत माता की जय।
भारत माता की जय।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद। जय हिंद। जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद।
जय हिंद सर। जय हिंद। जय
जय
हिंद।
हिंद।